life as we know it.
Yes.
All right,
Yes.
let's just leave it at that.
Right.
Okay, I gotta say, and agree with me or not, this man kind of stepped up to the plate in this sense that, like, I feel like you, sir, have officially become a leading man in this film.
Well, thank
so
you.
I'm just wondering, like, I mean, watching, I know you've been the leading man in other films, but I'm just wondering, like, do you feel this one maybe is more special?
Yeah,
than
I
other
really
ones,
do.
or?
This is definitely my favorite thing I've been a part of. Where it's difficult to get, you may believe it yourself. Like I always believed that I knew what I'm capable of doing. It's just hard to convince people of that. And then when you get the chance, are you really going to be able to do it? Luckily, Katie here, she was a big part in me getting this role. And Greg Berlanti fought for me, and Barry Josephson and Paul Brooks. It's a big, to get a studio to trust you in a movie like this is not easy, and they did, and I'm forever grateful to them for.
He's forever going to be employed by Warner Brothers now.
Oh, well,
They love him.
I hope so.
They
That'd be
should.
awesome.
You did brilliant.
But I appreciate that. But yeah, I mean, I feel very fortunate to be, because this is the kind of movie that I was looking for, and there's not a lot of movies out there like this, so. Yeah, I feel lucky.
So if you are in debt to Catherine, then
Oh, God,
what have you asked for?
Look what you've done. Look what you've
And
done.
I'm just like, I'm wondering, like, what's the IOU? Or are you going to wait for the perfect moment to kind of like be like, Josh,
I know.
remember?
Remember when I tapped my magic wand on you back in 2009? 2009, yeah. Was it 09 we shot this? Yeah,
2009. Yeah. I don't know. I'll have to think about it for a while.
No, I gotta ask. This film is interesting in the sense that yes, it's a romantic comedy, but it also looks into this very serious situation. So it's that very fine line. So I'm wondering, like, how do you kind of play it properly in the sense that, like, it's not going to be too cheesy or it's not going to be too, and then having a director to kind of bring it into, like, rein it all in.
Yeah.
That was Greg. I mean, Greg was the commander of that ship.
Yeah.
He was the guy, and it is difficult because it's not easy to make a movie like this. It's hard to sort of stay true to what you sort of want the vision of this thing to be. And a lot of times they won't let you have as much weight to the movie. They want it to be fun and light and easy to watch, and nobody should ever feel bad. But what I think the beauty of this movie is that people will actually cry, hopefully, and they'll laugh, and that's why I go to the movies.
Yeah, I think that it is a really fine line. That there's an interesting, tricky balance, but I think, one of the reasons I am so immensely proud of this movie, and it's probably the most, so far in my career, important project I've been a part of, not only because I was passionate about the story, but because I got to be a producer on it and have some voice in keeping the integrity of the sort of the drama of the film. And I wanted that so badly. Greg wanted that so badly. The producers did. Josh did. We were all sort of in this great experience together because we were all on the same team and on the same side. And the reason why it's important to me to tell it the way we told it is because I do truly believe that most of humanity has a lot of compassion, are compassionate people, and embrace compassion. And I think when you can watch a film like this and have that moment where you feel sadness over this loss, over this tragedy, and and you inspire compassion in your audience, I think that that's actually a really beautiful thing, and I think a lot of audience members appreciate the opportunity to be treated a little more sophisticated. They don't need to just watch a bunch of people tripping over themselves and slapping each other, and I don't know, whatever. But, they do appreciate a real story. I've done it too. I almost referenced one of my own movies.
quick last question. The kids, these babies, because the relationship is also with this one child in the film, but there are three, and I was wondering, like, did you have a favorite? Did you play favorites with any of them? I know one cried a lot.
But thank God that one cried a lot.
I know, poor little thing. She's gonna be so scarred for life. She's gonna be like, I was the crier. She's crying.
I'm glad we had her because I didn't have to poke her.
Yeah.
She cried on her own.
She would just do it.
Yeah. Like, come on,
She was a professional.
There.
Child services, anybody? God.
But yes, I loved them all equally. I didn't have a favorite. What about you, Katie?
I did have a favorite,
Oh,
actually.
see.
I'm just kidding. No, they were all just delicious and delightful.
Oh, come on,
and
no, who's your favorite?
the one I think I connected to the most, I wouldn't say she was my favorite. It was just, you know, some people, it's like grown-ups. You connect to people more than, say, others. You don't dislike them because you don't connect. You just, and I connected with Bryn. She was
sassy.
She was sassy. She was
She has
spicy.
some-
She liked me to pop out of corners and scare her, and I really loved to do that. So it was fun.
Yeah, well, it's funny because they all had distinctly different personalities. Brooke was she was the
Sweet
one who
and
came. She's
serene.
very sweet and she's probably the shyest one of the bunch, but
She's
the
gonna
one
get
who
everything she wants in life.
She's the one who had all of the, she has a lot of the funny sort of
sweet little looks in the movie
looks
when
in
the
the movie.
baby like tilts her head and.
But then
that's
Lexi
Brooke.
is like she's really the smallest one, but she's the leader. When they're walking around, she's kind of the one that they follow around.
I think she was the first to walk and stuff too. Yeah.
And but she was the one we could always count on to come to set, screaming bloody murder, and you need that in a movie like this. And then Bryn, you never knew what you were going to get, just like this one right here.